Hey guys, welcome to Stampin' with Alicia. Today is day 2 of my little mini series using the Dragonfly Dreams bundle, which is on page 26 of our Occasions catalog. I showed you this yesterday as well, so make sure to check that video out. So here is the sample card for today's video. There are a few things I used in this card, but look at that sparkle underneath the Dragonfly. I just love it. So first thing is this paper is actually from the Celebration catalog. With every $50 purchase you make, you get to choose an item for free. And this is one of the items. It is Inside the Lines Designer Series paper pack. And it includes 12 sheets, 4 different designs, so you get 3 of each. And I'll go ahead and show you the 4 different designs and what we'll be using today. So if you're into coloring, this is great. But don't think that you can only use this if you color it. Many people don't do anything with the sheets and just use it as a decorative background for their cards, and that works really well. Today we'll be doing some ink blending. So this is very intricate, very pretty, especially if you like to color. I think this is perfect. Then you have this sheet, and this Designer Series paper coordinates really well with the Dragonfly Dreams bundle because you have the dragonflies and the bees. And what's nice about this is if you cut it 6 by 6, each square will still have a scene you can work with. Then we have this one, which is really nice. The dragonfly again. And then the 4th one is this one, which we will be using today. Okay, so set this aside. Here is the Dragonfly Dreams stamp set, and then inside is my dies. I use a vent cover that you get from Home Depot or Lowe's to include in here, so I include my dies in here if anyone was ever wondering. For the 2 dies, I am using the solid and the intricate die that go together. You need a black random scrap piece of cardstock, just something that will fit with your die. Same thing with the scrap piece of glimmer paper, just whatever size that will hold your die. Some Stampin' dimensionals, of course. You will need a scrap piece of Calypso coral, however big, with whatever sentiment you want to use. For this one, that's all I needed. Okay. Then you will need your card base, which it has glitter all over it, which is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Then you will need a basic black card panel at 5 1/2 by 4, and then your piece of Designer Series paper, which is cut at 5 3 3/4, so that will create a nice card layers. The inks I'm using today are Wisteria Wonder, Calypso Coral, Basic Black. I'm also going to be using the Banner Triple Punch, which is great for creating a little banner tail with your sentiment. And then I have some little ink blending sponges that I'm going to be using. So, I'm going to go ahead and clear this away. We're going to do something different with our little dragonfly so you can see 2 different examples. And whoops, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead and cut out all my pieces. I finally got my magnetic platform. I'm so happy. So for this, I am using the solid die. Look at that. I will never have to use... Now I can't get it up. I will never have to use any tape to tape my dies down. Let me not forget my base plate. I mean, just wonderful. I'm so excited that I got that. It was a great purchase. Let me go ahead and cut this out. Okay, so I have my solid piece. Next, I'm going to take my glimmer paper. Now, this die is very intricate, so the best way, and sometimes the intricate dies don't cut well, so the best way to do this is bring back in my regular platform. Then I'm going to bring in my precision base plate. Okay. Then I'm going to set my paper with my die, just like you regularly, you do like usual. And that's the wrong plate. Go ahead and take this plate and run it through. Then I kind of pick it up gently and see if it cut all the way through. And yes, it definitely cut all the way through. Now, take that piece off. My piece is still stuck in my die. Now, so you're not there poking all the little pieces out. We have this die brush, which I used for the first time because this is all new to me still today, and I love it. So all you do is you take your brush and this little foam piece and you just rub it over your die, and it will get rid of all those bits that are stuck in your die. And what's nice is that this is foam, so it catches it all. So then you can release this, and you may have a few bits stuck in there still. I had one and it came out nicely. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. And I love when things like this are easy. I don't like spending time on a lot of things. So then you just dump that out and you have your really pretty die. All these supplies will be listed below. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit, put those aside. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my Wisteria Wonder and my Calypso Coral. Now I have this piece of typing paper, and all I did was I laminated it so I can clean it up easily. Okay. Make sure you're in frame of everything. All right. So first, and it doesn't matter how you do this, you could do Calypso Coral on the ends, Wisteria Wonder in the middle. You can do a gradient going side to side, whatever. That's how I did it here, kind of corner to corner. My card base is Calypso Coral, so I'm going to start with Calypso Coral in the center, and I think I'm going to go out. Do something different. Now, I already have ink on this, so I'm just going to kind of use the other side. Probably should use a different sponge, or any kind of blending tool you have would work. It's not a big deal. Whatever works for you. These surprisingly work really well. I was skeptical. So I just take this and I'm going to start from the center. And since you're not starting off of the page to come in, you want to be really light so you don't get a big blob of color. And then I'm just going to blend it out. And since this is laminated, I can actually pick up the ink that I dabbed off, which is nice because I don't like wasting the ink. Now next month I will be starting a card club, and it's basically free to anyone that makes a $35 purchase in that month. I will explain it better when it's closer to the time, but I have a hostess code, and what that hostess code does is if you place an order of under $150 and enter that hostess code, that helps me get the products I need for the card club. If you place an order of 150 or more, you are your own host, so do not use that code. But if you decide to place an order under 150, please make sure to use the host code that will be listed across the screen and also below. That way I can go ahead and get my card club started. I think you guys will enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to it. If I had the time, I would have had it done for this month, but time kind of got away from me, so we will start it next month. All right, so I'm okay with that. All right, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and put my card together. So I'm just using my snail adhesive. Go and put my card base down, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere my card panel. Okay, so put that aside, and here I'm going to take my 2 pieces. And with my sample card, I used the black on top, but this time I'm going to use the black on the bottom and see kind of which one I like better. Of course, if you don't want to use black, use any other color you choose that maybe a Calypso Coral or another color that you used. I like the way black pops on card bases, or not card bases, but cards. So this is why I chose the black. I'm going to kind of puff up the wings, bend them a little, and then I'm going to take my Tombow Mono liquid glue and go ahead and add some glue to the center of my dragonfly. And then go ahead and adhere that down on my dragonfly, the black piece, or the solid piece. I'm going to set that aside, give it a second to dry. I'm going to go ahead and start on my, let me do this so I get ink on my surface. Go ahead and start on my sentiments. I'm going to use the same one I used in my sample, which is Thanks for the Smile and Everything Else. And I'm using basic black to ink it up. Go ahead and stamp that down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this a little. And then I'm going to go ahead and slide this in my banner punch. You can go all the way in or kind of go, I don't like to go all the way in because I wish this was clear where we could see, but I can't see where my sentiment is. So I'm just going to do it slowly. What you want to make sure if you don't go all the way in is that you are centered. You don't want to be off like that because then your banner will be crooked. And if your paper is not an inch, this is 2 inches, this is 1 inch right here. If it doesn't fill that space completely, it's easy to insert this in crooked. So just make sure it's straight. Okay, and that's a little bit too far out, so I'm going to go in and make sure it's straight again and punch it. I think that'll work. All right, I want to go ahead and pop up my sentiments. I'm going to use some dimensionals. I'm going to adhere this down, but I'm going to do it pretty low because I don't want to cover my bee. And make sure I get this straight. I have the hardest time adhering things straight. All right, I think that's good. Next, I'm going to take my little dragonfly. Now, you can pop this up on dimensionals too if you want. I think that would look really pretty. Should we do it? You can't pop up the tail because it's so thin. Let's try it. What the heck? So I'm just going to take a couple and then adhere them to the wings on the back. And if you can hear that noise, which I'm sure you can, the people across the street, they're pressure washing their driveway. So sorry about that. Okay, go ahead and adhere this down. Well, I'm going to take one of my side pieces here and adhere it in the center. That way the middle part is, is secure. Okay, fluff up my wings a little bit and let's go ahead and adhere this down. There. It doesn't add that much dimension, but it does give it a nice little raised look. So what do you think? What do you like better? The silver glimmer dragonfly on top or it peeking out from the bottom? I like both. What colors do you like better? I'm partial to this one, the colors, the pink. So let me know what you think. If you're interested in any of these products, please find the links down below. I would love to be your demonstrator if you do not have a demonstrator yet. And if you do place an order, please make sure to use the HOSTESS code that is listed below. Also, if you're interested in joining my team, let me know. I can send you some information or answer any questions you may have. And stay tuned for tomorrow. I will be back with day 3 with another card using the Dragonfly Dreams set, and I will catch you next time. Bye!